Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I have a very lovely guest here. This is my mom.
Hello everybody.
The woman of the hour, the original boho queen herself. Here's proof. Ding. What's cool and really special is that this video is perfect timing, not only for Mother's Day, but also my mom was 30 when she had me. And as you guys know, I just turned 30, so this is 30.
This is 60.
So I thought I wanted to bring you on, Mom, because something that I thought was really interesting is that you were really intentional. When you first got pregnant, I know you said that, well, why don't you share?
We waited a long time for Lynette.
My dad and you?
Yes, my husband and I waited, well, 5 years before we got married, and then we got married, and then 5 years later, we had Lynette. So it was 10 years of waiting for Lynette. So it was very intentional, and that's why I got this little journal.
Where did you buy it from? I'm curious. Do you remember?
I believe it was Hallmark store or something like that, but it was very important to me to journal it because I knew that at one point you were going to be reading it, and you forget a lot of things. 30 years ago, right?
Did a friend tell you about this idea, or you just thought of it? Like, oh, let me write a journal because then one day my daughter or my child will read it? Or how did you come up with that?
Because we waited for such a long time. It was exciting to be able to express my feelings, and at that time, especially after waiting for such a long time, we just wanted to journal. I'm not a journaler. I don't think I've ever.
This is like one of your only journals, I feel like.
Yeah, I don't journal. So
I feel so privileged. Yeah, my brother didn't get a journal.
I don't talk about your journal too much in front of Derek. No, and I adore him too, but it's, you get busy as a mom, and that's what happens. But
so she brought this up to California, and I was like, wait a second, this is special. I want you to kind of read through some of these because, again, you guys, this is the year that I just want to start kind of exploring more with my content, doing some things that are a little bit more meaningful and share a little bit more about who I am. So this is the perfect scenario, right? This is like right from the beginning. We're going all the way. So I want to note something that's cool too. She got this journal, I guess, apparently at a Hallmark store or something. Didn't know whether I was going to be a boy, whether I was going to be a girl, whether she was pregnant or not. And it happened to be not anything that I like on the front because it's a cat. But the point is that there's a thing and it says, from Lynn Hollins. But she didn't know, like, meaning Lynn is on there. I'm just saying. I just think that's interesting. That's all. That's all I'm going to say.
Alan and I were very intentional with pretty much a lot of things as far as planning to be parents. We even planned it to the season. I didn't want to be pregnant or have a child during the summer, so we planned it to where I would have Lynette in the wintertime, in which she was born in February. So so it was intentional, but I had no idea exactly how things were going to go.
How did you guys do that?
Let's go on.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you're like, okay, so we really gotta hit it hard these months so that we can get pregnant now.
There is something in there about that. But anyway, segueing on to, this was June 24th, 1986. So I put the feeling.
She's like a writer. She's a natural born. She says that.
What do you call that? That's the title of it. And I'm just going to read a little bit of it. Dear little one, your father and I were at the movies when I told him that I suspected I might be with child. That sounds so
definitely
old-fashioned,
1986.
but hey, we're talking a long time ago, okay? He smiled and asked me if I was sure, and I replied, I want to buy a home pregnancy test. And he said, no. It's good to wait on the Lord for such things. And I said, very wise. I agreed.
Dad.
So I waited one whole night. The next day I went to the doctor's for a blood test, and I also had to wait on the Lord till 6 p.m. that evening.
To find the results.
And they called me at work and told me the good news. And the doctor called. I answered, and her name was Dr. Welsh. I don't even remember that, but I guess that was her name. And she said, "Is that good news? You are pregnant." And oh my gosh, that was the best news I have ever had in my life. I prayed for a girl. God, please give me a girl. I wanted to dress her up like a little doll, and I always did. And she still looks like a little doll, but I had so much fun doing that. But I'm getting ahead of myself. But so that's what happened. I mean, the other thing is telling Alan, because again, remember, this is 10 years, right? So everything was, I already had told him that I suspected, and so that when he came home from work, I wanted to tell him. We were on our way somewhere, and I said, "Are you ready to go, Dad?" And you should have seen the smile on his face. It was so, so cute. And he was just so happy. We were both thrilled. That was probably one of the best moments in our married life. You know, all those little things that happen. So you were very much wanted, my love.
Well, thanks, Mom.
One of the things that first of all, I had never read this book in 30 years.
Which is crazy to me because I read this all the time growing up. I loved reading this. It was so fun for me. Like, I thought it was the coolest thing. So I think these are things that are important to share, I think, because now for those of you that are planning or whatever, I'm not there. But I'm just saying, these are things now that I can implement into my own life. Those of you, look at how cool this is. This is a vintage diary.
Okay, not that vintage.
Hey, well.
Okay. So this was a surprise to me long. And then I said, "Well, little one, for being such a little critter, you certainly have been around. In May, this is where you were conceived, in San Carlos, Mexico, on a scuba trip for 8 days. Then in early August, you went with us to San Diego for a week, and we went to SeaWorld. We bought you your first stuffed animal. It's a white little seal. I'm on my way to Los Angeles for a week, so you're gonna take your first ride, and guess where I went?
That's
Disneyland.
crazy, though. That's cool.
I was just talking to her about Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse. For some reason, Disney always pops
Disney,
up, right?
Geez, and then I did so much. Did a commercial with Minnie Mouse. I mean, that's pretty crazy. Things like that.
So before you were born, you went on several trips.
That's cool.
I found your crib, and it's all so darling. I looked hard for it because I wanted it to be perfect. I'm so excited about starting on your room. I've got many ideas of how I want it to look. Daddy and I have lots of work to do because your room right now is full of my office stuff and Daddy's magic props. Oh, speaking of magic, your daddy is the best magician in the whole world. So anyway, he got Club Magician of the Year trophy last week at our yearly magic banquet. It was a perfect day. We've been practicing for many months for the show. Our performance was just great. I was so proud of your daddy. He's a wonderful person. You and he will have so many good times. Anyway, about the magic banquet. The next day, we got a phone call from an old magician congratulating us on the performance, and he offered Alan a chance of a lifetime to perform at the Magic Castle in Hollywood, California. We told them that we were expecting, so we wouldn't be able to do it till the next year because I can barely fit into my dress. So we're looking forward to that day. I'm hoping that one of these days
I want to wear that dress.
The dress.
What if I audition at the Magic Castle in that
dress? Oh my gosh, the dress is so beautiful. Yep.
That's cool.
February 11th, 1987. It's 9 o'clock at night and I'm starting to get contractions again. I know you'll come tonight. Your daddy's at a meeting. 11 p.m. Your daddy came home and I told him that I was having contractions 5 minutes apart. We went to bed, and at 12:45 a.m. on the 12th, I was laying there just waiting for the next contraction when all of a sudden I heard a pop. Got up and went to the restroom and my water just broke. So I was so happy. Finally, you were on your way. So I told Alan, it's time to go to the hospital, honey. He was so excited. I'll never forget his smile. On the way, your daddy picked out your name. We couldn't agree on any names. He was insistent on Lynette. as one of them. He was the one that made the final decision on the way to the hospital.
Dad, what did he say? So her name's gonna be Lynette.
Yes. And that name has a special significance because Lynette Chappelle, it was the lady that we named Lynette after, and she used to be Siegfried and Roy's main assistant, and she was this beautiful person.
She says Siegfried and Roy as if you guys know who that is, but not everybody does. So they're just big magicians in Vegas. They're the ones with the big Bengal tigers. And Lynette Chappelle is this beautiful, vivacious, incredible. She was not only an assistant, she had her own, she kind of helped produce the show, right? And
yeah,
so
she was the right hand.
She, yeah, I'd always love to do a video with her one day. That'd be cool. Well, and then lo and behold, there it was, February 12th. Well, that is so special, Mom. I just think it's Mother's Day, so obviously we're celebrating you too. But this is a gift to me as well, because this was so fun for me to read throughout the years from a little girl. I used to read this all the time, and it was really, I mean, what kind of child is able to do that, I guess? That's not really often that happens. So thank you for being intentional, Mom. And I think that it's obviously been something that I've learned from you too, to just try and be mindful, be intentional about things. So I think that's special to share with you guys. Thank you for listening and hanging out with us. And make sure to call your mom and tell her you love her, or spend some time with her if you can. And yeah,
Love you.
love you too. Thanks, Mom. All right, guys, we will see you very soon. Happy Mother's Day.